Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody's doing really well. Hope everybody's having a really good day. Give me just a second here to make sure I'm in focus because I wasn't last week or last stream, but I am now. Okay, we're good. Hello everybody, welcome. I hope that your day is off to a good start. We are ready. I'm only 4 minutes behind. I mean, I started right on time, but I was 4 minutes behind as far as like now that I'm talking. But I hope everybody's doing really well. We're here, we're ready to get started. I don't know. We win, hello, nice to see you. Merle, hello to you as well. Oh no, we win. What's King's Day? What is that? Oh, we win, that's the worst. I hate when there's like those weird ups and downs in the weather because it always makes you feel sick. We're kind of going through that right now. Like last week it was super hot here and now it's chilly. It's not cold, but it's cool enough. But that doesn't let your body kind of become accustomed to it, so you start getting like, you feel sick. It kind of sucks, but I hope you're doing well. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, happy King's Day. Do you get the day off? Is it that kind of holiday? I hope it's that kind of holiday. Oh wait, starting soon is still on screen. There we go, that's better. Now I'm professional, I swear. You had to work, gross. So I looked back at my stream yesterday. We're gonna be playing some Dead Island. I looked back at my stream yesterday, or on Tuesday, and I noticed that it was not running as smooth as what I was playing. Like mine was running at full 60 frames a second. For some reason, the stream was looking like it was less than 30 frames a second. So I've turned down the resolution on the streaming PC or on the gaming PC to see if maybe it was an issue with like the capture card having to like downscale and stream it, or because I have to have OBS open while I'm playing so the capture card can capture the gameplay. I'm wondering if maybe that was the issue. Like I was playing at too high of a resolution and OBS having to downscale it to 1080p was causing an issue. So I've turned the game down to 1080p. All the stuff is still set to max. So hopefully visually it should look roughly the same for you because you all see it at 1080p anyway. For me, it looks pretty close. I also tweaked the colors because I did go back and look and everything looked kind of off. So I tweaked it a little bit better. I was still using my crappy monitor to do it, so I don't know if it's actually going to look great. I'll check on my tablet once we get started, but we'll see. But hopefully it looks better. Hata, I like it. I think the only... Sorry, the music might have been quiet. The only asterisk I would put next to it is that be prepared for what you are getting yourself into, because a lot of people have been, it's like split down the middle. The people who like it really like it, and the people who are like criticizing the game really dislike it. But I feel like the people who are criticizing are in the wrong, and not because their opinion is wrong, but because they're looking at it through the wrong lens. This is Dead Island. It's a zombie slasher, mindless, violent romp through an apocalyptic city. I think some people were expecting it to be like the next Assassin's Creed, where it's got like a super in-depth story. It's not. It's just a bunch of people trying to survive zombies. So like if you're up for like zombie slashing fun, this is such a good game. I'm actually in the process of trying to work out a video to make about this because Dead Island 2 was in development hell. Like this thing got announced back in like I thought it was 2012. I heard somebody else say 2015. Nonetheless, it was almost 10 years ago. And usually when a game goes and gets canceled and gets started again and switches teams, it's usually a disaster. Duke Nukem, I'm looking at you. It usually turns into a mess. This game came out really good in spite of that. Is it going to be Game of the Year contender? No. It's a zombie slasher. It's like you're not going to expect a zombie movie to win an Oscar, but that doesn't mean that, you know, Train to Busan wasn't a phenomenal movie. It's just not an Oscar level movie because it doesn't have the right elements to it. Just like this won't have the right elements for Game of the Year, but if you're looking for a zombie slashing fun game, this is totally up there. I haven't played Dying Light 2, but it seems like more people like this game than liked Dying Light 2, so That should say something. It's still clunky. It's still kind of slow, like the original Dead Island was. But graphically, it's very pretty. And the deforming engine that they have for the violence against the zombies is really well done. So I think it's a good game. I think it's a really good game. I'm good, Nikki. How are you? How's life? Yeah, I thought Train to Busan was amazing. I thought it was such a good movie. It's just not an Oscar movie because there's certain things movies have to kind of achieve to win Oscars. It's almost why that's why you almost never see cartoons winning in the Oscars, because the truth is it's a bunch of pompous rich people who are just trying to dictate what they think is art and beauty and talent, and ignore what the rest of the world thinks is art, beauty, and talent, and they tell us what's art, beauty, and talent. It's the same thing as like fashion shows. Nothing against fashion shows and people who like to do that kind of stuff and want to design that way, but like there was one that a guy was wearing, or a girl, I can't remember, was wearing a bunch of garbage bags. Who's gonna wear that? The only people that wear that are pompous, self-centered people who have way too much money to spend, who want the attention, and who want to wear things just to tell other people they don't get it because they're below you. But it's objectively ugly, it's objectively stupid, and the people designing it are either so into themselves they don't realize how stupid their designs are, or they're such geniuses that they're almost seeing how much stupid crap they can make rich people buy. It's kind of the same thing with the Oscars. It's a bunch of arrogant, pompous, butt-sniffing movie directors and producers all stroking each other's egos to tell each other how awesome they are, but then they ignore all the stuff that's actually enjoyable and all the stuff that people really, really praise, because it may not meet certain standards or didn't have any like world famous actors in it, which is stupid, because I thought Train to Busan was phenomenal. They're so phenomenal. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that every cartoon deserves to win. I'm just saying that it's a lot hard. A cartoon has to reach a much higher level than a live action movie to be considered as good as a live action movie. So, you know, like you can get a script for a live action movie and it can be like 75% good, but it can still be a contender to win. Whereas a cartoon, if it's less than like 90% beautiful, it's not going to even be in the runnings. Because these Hollywood bigwigs are still under the impression that cartoons are for kids and that cartoons can't be a way to express art. Because there have been movies that have won that everybody agrees should not have won. And there have been multiple years where people go, this cartoon should have won, and they didn't even win an award because it was a cartoon. It's just because they're held to a higher standard, which is frankly stupid, because it takes just as much talent to make a cartoon as it does to make a regular movie. But it's just that like arrogant, if it doesn't meet these criteria, then it's not good. It's kind of the same idea with video games. A lot of people have this idea that video games are for a bunch of little kids to play, because they haven't played any of the games, and so they look at games like Bejeweled and they think that that's what gaming is, or Call of Duty and they think that's what gaming is, but they don't realize there are games out there that are like emotionally charged, or that, you know, really make you think as you play them, and the world as a whole still looks at gaming as like a kid's thing, despite the fact that a lot of full-blown like professional actors are now being hired to do video games, that there are bigger budgets towards video games and coming back from video games, and that the production that goes into a video game, I'm not talking about like the development, but I'm talking about the actual like voice acting, and they build a full studio for it. All of that is at Hollywood level, but they still see it as a kid's thing, and that's not real art, despite it being equivalent to Hollywood and making more money than Hollywood. It's just that pompous idea that people have. Yeah, I think yeah, Parasite won. Again, I'm not saying like you're nitpicking. I didn't say all of them don't win. I'm just saying they have to meet a higher standard. because there are good foreign films out there that never even get the acknowledgement. Now what's helping with movies like Parasite and all that is social media. But if you go back like 15 years ago, you weren't finding very many foreign films. That's why they had like a foreign film award, because they weren't seen as equal to the American films. And so it's not that every film that is foreign is never going to win. It's just they have to prove themselves a lot more. And it's the same with video games. You can have a video game script that is phenomenal, but it's still only going to be seen as a good movie script, despite it being better than almost all the good movie scripts and being a phenomenal script. It's just they hold it to a lower standard. And yeah, Train to Busan, they spoke Korean. As far as like film analysis, yeah, I think it's disappeared. I think it's not that it's disappeared, it's been overshadowed, I would say. We're going through a really weird time right now, but it's definitely been overshadowed by the average Joe sitting in their bedroom talking about movies. And I think a big part of that is film analysis is very much for the artist, if that makes sense. Like it's very much a technical breakdown of what a movie is. Same with like script analysis, art analysis. It's very much down to the technical terms. But a technically well done piece of art, movie, music, whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that it is a broad appeal piece of art. Because if you really think about it, modern music right now, modern pop music that's like on the top 40s, I'm not talking about all music, just the top 40 stuff, for the most part is fairly basic. They follow a cookie cutter pattern, and they usually have, you know, sampled music in it, which there's nothing against sampled music, but it's technically not a very impressive feat. And stuff that is very impressive is usually relegated to the outsides. It's usually like that alt style music. And so despite it being technically better music, it's not as appealing as less technical stuff. So I think what's happening with film is kind of the same idea, is the technical analysis of it is great for the technical part, but it doesn't guarantee mass appeal. So more people are more interested in the mass appeal version of stuff. So when you get an average Joe or Jane sitting in their room talking, they're going to talk about it most of the time from a very generic perspective, which is easier to connect to. And so what I'm saying that things are getting kind of weird right now is we're seeing a disconnect between movie reviewers and the average populace review. Mario is the perfect example of this, where Mario got like a 5 out of 10, and the criticisms were valid. You know, it's a very shallow movie. It doesn't really have like a deep story arc. It's not very compelling in any way. It's all about fan service. But where it completely misses the spot, and where film analysis and stuff tends to completely miss the spot, is they are so into what they're looking at that they forget that not everybody sees it that way. And so Mario is being completely praised by all the fans because we wanted fan service. We wanted just like a goofy Mario movie. We don't care if it's not in depth. It's fan service. That's what we wanted. And so that's where we're starting to see the breakdown, is where reviews are great, but they're not connecting with the populace, because the populace doesn't understand, for the most part, all those in-depth intricacies. And even if they do understand them, that's not why they're going to go watch a movie. Most people are going to go watch a movie to have a good time. And so whether they had, you know, compelling lighting, which evoked certain emotions, they don't care. They just want to know that they felt those emotions. So I think film analysis is always going to be around. It's just probably going to be overshadowed a lot by social media coverage. It'll probably go in a cycle. It'll probably start becoming much more in-depth through social media, as you start getting the people who are very into film analysis becoming more recognized in social media. But as of right now, yeah, it's definitely being very overshadowed. Ark, how you doing? Welcome. Ooh, Discord manager jobs. That sounds stressful. I wouldn't want that. I hope you're doing well. Morrison, I don't know. China White, hello, nice to see you. It's hard. I think the problem with YouTube, it's kind of a double-edged sword. The problem with YouTube is because it is accessible to everybody. It's like accessible to make stuff for everybody, it almost breeds the inability to do something at the level of Hollywood, because everybody is competing to kind of get their views, and usually the first like month is where all the views are, and then things disappear. So it's kind of hard to justify putting in that effort for a very short exposure and then no real mass acknowledgement, if that makes sense. Like, people who watch YouTube, but people who don't really don't. I made a video talking about how YouTube is dying. Every other comment is, I don't even watch YouTube. I haven't watched YouTube in years. Some people think that YouTube is dead, and YouTube is still one of the biggest video platforms out there. And then somebody commented something, and I said something like, you know, there are no competitors to YouTube out there. And I've gotten multiple comments that are like, what do you mean, you're on TikTok? But TikTok isn't a YouTube competitor. TikTok is very different. But people who use TikTok think that TikTok is the only platform out there because they don't use anything but TikTok. So I think that alone is going to make it very hard for it to kind of stand out and ever become the same as like a Hollywood movie situation. That being said, because it has mass appeal, this is the other side of the sword, anybody can make something. So you can give opportunities to a very artistic person who may not have had a chance otherwise to do something revolutionary. I just think it'll be very different than what we see with like Hollywood. I think if anything, it'll be more like what we're seeing with Netflix and like HBO and all that, where there might be stuff on YouTube that is high quality, but it's never going to be the same as like a Hollywood movie. But there's always opportunity, right? Like, I mean, if you go back to when I started streaming, oh god, 6 years ago. Sorry, brain fart. I started streaming 6 years ago, and if you looked at streams from 6 years ago to streams now, people 6 years ago would have never imagined a stream looking like my stream looks. And if they did, it would be like the top end, thousands upon thousands of viewers, live streamers doing my quality. And now you have somebody who's literally started streaming 2 weeks ago having better quality than what I have. So things change quite a bit. So you never know. It's just hard to fully predict. When it comes to art, it changes with generations, and it's very hard to kind of predict what's going to happen next. It's kind of what's happening with comedy right now. A lot of comedians, and I'm not talking about the woke agenda, that BS, but a lot of comedians are starting to point out that Gen Z has a very different timing to their comedy than millennials, Gen X, and boomers did. Where our type of comedy is very much set up the joke and here's the punchline. Set up the joke and here's the punchline. Whereas Gen Z comedy tends to just be very one level. So there's never really a punchline. So the comedy is more in just the situation versus like, here's the setup, there's the joke. And millennial style comedy where like the setup and the joke doesn't always land as well as it used to. There's also a very different way of producing that comedy. Like, I find a lot of Gen Z style comedy in videos relies heavily on sound effects. No criticism. I don't receive it the same way that Gen Z does. Where, like, if you go back and watch Wadzi, who is a Minecraft streamer, I don't watch a lot of Gen Z content, but if you watch Wadzi, who is older Gen Z, he does Minecraft content, and most of his content revolves around really loud, distorted sound effects. And so, like, he might make a joke and it's funny, but then he adds a really loud sound effect to almost like point out that's the joke. So, like, it's hard to predict where comedy's gonna go, because what I find funny is not what you find funny anymore, and it seems like it continually changes in a way that makes less sense to the generation before. So it's hard to understand what's going to be entertaining for people in the future. You know what I mean? People even now look back at millennial content and they find it really weird when it's like a day in the life of, and a lot of Gen Z make fun of that. But for us, it was really entertaining. I didn't really watch that stuff, but for a lot of people, it was really entertaining because we had Hollywood. Like, we had curated television. And so it was all an act. It was never natural. You never got to see an actor or actress without their makeup on or waking up out of bed. But then all of a sudden YouTube came around and you could see somebody just going about their day and doing cool stuff. And so like you got to see the whole process, whereas like we were only ever exposed to really curated things. Even like behind the scenes, it had lights and, you know, they were fully done up. Even when they were getting out of the bed, their makeup was perfect. And then all of a sudden YouTube came around and it was very real. And eventually that ran its course. Now that's not really interesting. Then TikTok came along and it was people being goofy and dancing in front of the camera, but it was really, really rough and just done with a phone. And so like everybody else felt like they could do that. So like there's always a change. So it's hard to predict. I think YouTube is like the idea of YouTube is where the future lies. Is it going to be YouTube itself? I don't know. But I do think that that's kind of where things are going, because we're all sick of the curated idea. And like a perfect example is looking on YouTube, on TikTok, and look at the celebrities that are on there. Like Jennifer Lopez got ripped apart on TikTok because she's trying to give like behind the scenes, but it's all so well scripted as she talks. Like you could tell she's not actually answering the question. They gave her a script, she memorized it, and she's saying it. And she got roasted alive. She got a bunch of followers, but that's because she's a celebrity. But she's getting roasted alive because nobody cares. People want like a genuine response. So I think things are definitely going that way. It's just who knows how it's going to shape down the line. Jimmy, how you doing, man? How's it going? How's life? How's you're still streaming, right? I haven't really watched who's been live or not. Now you're still streaming though, right? Yeah, Ark. I don't get the loudspeaker thing. Like that guy Wadzi, he'll do stuff like that where like he says that he's gonna I don't know. Hold on. Do I have sound? Okay, I do. It's just quiet. Where he's like, oh, we're going to collect resources or whatever for the next hour, and you see him like collecting dirt, let's say, because he's building something, and he always has the sound effect. He's like, but he like turns it up so it distorts to the point where it like sounds almost like a distortion guitar, and it's so loud versus the rest of his video. Like the level is loud too. And to me that's just irritating. To me that's just irritating and frankly lazy. To just add a loud sound effect, but it works. It's what makes the videos pop, right? And that goes back to what Morrison had said about video analysis and stuff, where like technically speaking, it is done incorrectly, having distortion in the sound, adding a volume that's way louder than it needs to be. It doesn't add anything to the content itself, but that's a very analytical way of looking at it. The fact that it works proves that it doesn't matter how wrong it is, it's working. And so like it's a weird thing to kind of be on the outside of, because I don't fit in. I don't get it. Ark, I hope you have some luck, man. I hope you have some luck. Okay. Oh, I didn't plug it in. Hold on. Oh, does that USB not work? Dang it. Hold on. Hold on. Oops. Okay. I was playing Fear last night on my streaming PC, because it's not installed on my gaming PC, and I had to switch over the Tartarus. I forgot I'm stuck here. I had to switch over the Razer Tartarus, and I forgot to switch it back before the stream. But I also forgot that one of the front USBs is broken on the gaming PC, so it just led to a little bit of a problem. But we fixed it. We're good. Hey, Rigo. All the guts and the levers. All the guts and levers. Okay, I'm supposed to... There's so much that I'm supposed to do in this area. It's really not good. It's so gross. Yeah, I can't even imagine how that is, man, because it's scary. There have been times where I have been quite tight financially because just work is not providing me with enough hours in the past, and it's stressful. So I can't even imagine what it's like when you're looking for a job and nobody is calling. Oh god, this mouse is a little bit too sensitive for me. Oh, it just keeps going.
Where are you all coming from? Am I going to, Lily? Or is this hotel speaking to me? Radio. Music to my ears. Now, all I need is to get into this ballroom.
Yeah, Rigo, it's so gross. It's so gross. If you're still watching. Look at that. I hit him in the face and look.
Oi, what did I do? Wait, are you offering free body mods?
Or like, look.
Then. I'll be right there.
Look at that. Look at that. His guts are out. They're jiggling. Like, it's so gross. Look, her ribs are out. You could rip her ribs out and stuff. It's so gross. It's awesome. Okay, I gotta get through the lobby.
No wedding crashers getting in through here.
Moa, I'm doing really well. How are you? How's life? How are things? Whoa! Whoa, God! I didn't mean to do that. That was perfect. I meant to just kick, but I pushed both by accident. Okay, but I don't think I have dodge set up, right? Oh, I do. Okay.
I'll find you, Major Booker. You might be the only live body in this place.
Oh, thanks, Ark. Thanks. Yeah, Rigo, this game is so good. It's so bloody and gory and fun.
What were they doing with all these bodies?
It's just like the dumbest game ever when it comes to like how bloody and gory it is. It's awesome.
Feckin' hell, fellas. You're doing acid all wrong.
Ooh. Gross. Okay, let's kick her in there. Go. Ugh.
Smells like me ma's boiled stew. What was the army doing here?
Oh, gross. They got burned alive. Is the stream running okay? Seems to be a lot smoother than it was last time. Gross.
They were pumping it out of the pool.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A little tired. Oh. Oh, I hate that. I hate it. I hate training people. When I was working out in the community, they would always get me to train the new people that would come in. And for the most part, it was nice because I got to be a little bit lazy. They could do the physical stuff, but at the same time, I hated it because oh, dang it. How do I get to the other side then? I hated it because I would have to correct them when they would do things wrong, and almost always it was somebody that just graduated school and they didn't know. And so like it was up to me to kick. Oh, there it is. It was up to me to like teach them stuff that they either completely missed in class or they were just terrible at, and then I'd have to correct them, and I hate doing that. There was a woman that came to work with me, and she was one of these women that like went on and on about how she had been doing this for 20 years, almost like she was lacking so much confidence that she had to almost convince herself that she'd been doing it for so long that she would be fine. Just always going on about, I've been doing this for 20 years and I've been doing this for 20 years, but then like the basics she couldn't figure out. And I'm not even talking basics like anything complicated, like how to properly clean somebody or whatever. I'm talking basics like how to empty a pee bag, which for outsiders sounds very complicated, but it's literally, it's like a little rubber hose at the bottom of the bag, and all you do is just like pop out the rubber hose, because it's usually like held up on the bag. You just pop it out, and then it usually has like a clip that you just kind of press and it opens, and then the pee comes out, and then you just clip it again and then put it back on, and that's it. And she couldn't figure that out. She couldn't figure out how to open the bag. And that's something that like an average person is going to do eventually when they're taking care of somebody, because it's very, very basic. And after 20 years of doing that work, she didn't know how. So like for me, I hate training people, because when stuff like that happens, it's just like I guess the neurodiverse part of me just thinks you shouldn't be doing this job if you can't even figure out the basics. And this wasn't like day one she didn't know what to do. This was after 2 weeks of training. 2 weeks of training and she still couldn't figure out how to do that. Like 2 weeks with me and she still couldn't figure out how to do it. I had to go over it every single day. And the person we were doing it with had to get it done twice in one visit. So like there was no excuse for her not being able to do it. It was crazy. They ended up becoming a work partner. That's awesome. That's awesome. I hated the people that I ended up working with. I had to go to a training session at this last place I was working at, and the way that the laws work here, you can use lifts on people, right, to like pick them up out of bed if they can't stand up and stuff. But the way that it works here is, in order to be able to use the lift, you have to be trained on it with that person, that patient. Every time you get a new patient that needs it, you're gonna have to train with them, because it's a safety thing, it's an insurance thing. And what the heck? How do I don't want to jump in there, I'm gonna die. And so like, oh, okay. And so you have to do that training every single time. And so they had me go in and they made me go in and do the training for the lift, and the nurse that was training us didn't know how to use the lift. She didn't realize that we had the wrong parts. Like I was telling her, you know, he can't use this. This is too big, and she had no idea how to do it. I had to eventually step in and finish training the people, because she had just graduated as a nurse 2 months before and had zero experience in healthcare before that.
Bodies into meat soup, then just flushed it all down the drain when it got full.
Oh, gross.
Hey, if you're still looking for your lover boy, he's in the pool, mingling. But don't worry, sweetheart. You can still have your first dance.
She sounds like she's drunk.
Maybe you should join him, you gal.
Oh, crap again. And so, you know, like, she was somebody who had zero experience in it, and she's trying to train us. And I'm just thinking to myself, why is she training us if she doesn't even know what she's doing? Go. In the acid. In the acid. Die. Oh god. I find that this mouse, it's a good thing, but right now it's not. Oh god, how do I heal? I don't think I set up a button for that. Ooh, I got another survivor card. Okay. I find that this mouse, it tracks really, really sensitively. And so like when I'm clicking, my hand is shaking and the shake is translating to the screen. So you see the screen shaking as I'm clicking. Justin, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome. How are you? She wanted the person to sit next to her and listen to on the retails. And I think I sit like 10 minutes and let her try by herself. And you stand behind. I get really anxious. I get really, really anxious whenever I'm training and they try to get me on the phone right away. I'm just like, no, let me watch for a day and just like hang out and just observe. Okay. That's why. Get off. I don't want you. I don't want you. Get away. I don't want this one. I like that one. How do I just remove this? I don't want it. I don't want this one. That's the problem. This is the one. But I can't remove it. That's why I can't block. This is so dumb. That is dumb. That is the problem. Portia Pryor, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I was under the impression I was going to have sound effects, but I guess not. Maybe not. Justin, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. It is, it's a mindless zombie romp. So like, I have to keep like clarifying with people. If you're looking for something deep with like a good story, this probably won't be for you. But if you're looking at just like wanting to violently behead zombies all day long, this is such a good game for that. I'm having a lot of fun. Counterattack zombies to regain extra health even more than usual, but I can't counterattack because I can't do the counters. Slide attacks. Ooh. I'll use that one for now. I don't remember what dodges. Oh, this is. Ooh, I cut his head off. There's so many of them. Oh God, I'm almost out. I don't want the knife. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. I keep pushing the wrong button. Are we good? Are we good? Is that it? I think that's it. Dontavis, hello, how you doing? Welcome. There's...
Yeah, I'm coming. Suppose rat arse drunk is better than zombie.
The best comparison, Evan, the best comparison... So, okay, did you play Dying Light 1 and Dead Island 1? On top of that, were you around when Dead Island 1 and Dying Light came out? Oh, gross! Look, oh, gross! Were you around when those games were released? Okay, so then you probably remember that when Dead Island 1 came out, everybody was expecting a certain type of game, and then it came out and it was not that kind of game at all, and a lot of people were very disappointed. And then Dying Light came out and it was pretty much everything that people thought Dead Island was gonna be. This is very much Dead Island 1 when you're playing it. It doesn't feel like Dying Light because it's much slower. It's much clunkier. You know, it feels like Dead Island 1. That being said, this is everything Dead Island 1 should have been. It feels much better than Dead Island 1. The the reaction that the zombies are giving is much more accurate. Dead Island 1 just felt very much like you were hitting mannequins. It didn't feel like you were fighting zombies. Do you know what I mean? Like the gore just wasn't right, and the movements of the characters were very mechanical. This feels much better in that aspect, but it's still clunky. It's still pretty slow. It doesn't feel as parkour as obviously because it doesn't have any parkour, but it doesn't feel like Dying Light did, where Dying Light was very smooth in the way that you moved around. So there's not really any like direct comparison. It's just, it feels more like everything Dead Island 1 should have been. I'm really, really liking this game, but definitely just a mindless zombie slasher. Like that's pretty much what this is. It's just a completely mindless zombie slasher, and I love it. Ark, thank you for saying that over on TikTok. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's so juicy. It's so juicy. All right, Merle. You lurk. You lurk. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this. I like it way better than Dead Island 1. I thought Dead Island 1 was good. Don't get me wrong. I've played a lot of Dead Island 1. I thought Dead Island 1 was really good, but I feel like this is everything. This has everything that I thought Dead Island 1 was missing. Even like the exploration and stuff is just so much better here. How do I switch them? Can I not? Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Even in exploration, this game is... the map is... Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Whew. Even in exploration, the map in Dead Island 1, from what I've seen so far of this one, is bigger. Because this is split up more into levels, but this has a lot more nooks and crannies that you can explore, so you can kind of just get lost in a smaller space because there's different areas to look at, and it looks like it's worth looking at because you find stuff. Whereas Dead Island 1, like they had the whole cabana area with like the different huts and stuff, but most of them were locked, or if you went inside, there wasn't really anything important in there. So you would waste your time because you just felt like you were seeing the exact same hut over and over again, and there was nothing in any of them. Whereas here, everything just feels interesting to look at. So this has everything that I wish Dead Island 1 would have had, and it's more fun to play overall. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's a bit costly. I think that's one of the criticisms I've heard quite a bit, is that it's a bit costly and that the price doesn't match what you're getting for it, if that makes sense. Oh, I need electronics. Okay. So people are kind of feeling like it wasn't, the purchase isn't exactly worth it. But I'm having fun. I worked with Deep Silver, so like I'm one of their creators, so they sent me this. So I have I've gotten this key given to me, which is, oh, now I can switch? The heck. Which is great, because I don't know if I probably would have bought it. I was really excited from the day that they re-announced the game. If you weren't around, for those who weren't around, I know you say you were, so this isn't directed toward you, but for the people who weren't around when Dead Island 1 was originally announced, it was announced a long-ass time ago, and then it just kind of didn't go anywhere, and then there were rumors about how it was dying, and that they had canceled the dev team and stuff, and it probably was never going to come out, and so, like, everybody had pretty much accepted that Dead Island was dead. And then they re-announced it, and it was so exciting to hear that it was being done still. Kind of disheartening to know they were starting from scratch, but it was still exciting to know it was still on the table. And then it came out, and they gave a date, and I was so excited when they gave a date, so I was probably going to buy it no matter what. But the fact that I work with Deep Silver kind of just guaranteed it for me. But I'm loving this. I'm loving this, and I don't think I would have regretted buying it. But yeah, as far as like story and it being, you know, an in-depth game, it's kind of shallow, so it probably wouldn't be worth it to a lot of people. But for me, absolutely would have been. Because like I own this game on the Xbox, and I own it on PC, and I bought the definitive version of both. And I bought copies for Alana so she could play. So I've bought Dead Island 1 like 7 or 8 times. It's out of focus, but right there, that brown thing with like little white things sticking on it, that's my Dead Island Riptide collector's box. My Dead Island Zombie Hula Girl is in my PC. I'm a fan of Dead Island. It was one of those things where like, uh-oh. Whoa. That was rude.
Did she just call me a feckin' whale? Either this gobby gowl is
Scrappy.
or she's not talking.
Scrappy guy, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that.
Shit.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Grenades.
Yeah, I every time I played Dead Island, it was love-hate for me because like all I kept thinking was I just wish they would have done a few changes in order to make the game
our delicious menu
really fun.
of a guest gumbo starter,
And so like the
entree,
oh gross.
gelato dessert. Enjoy.
Oh crap! I'm electrocuting myself. Like it was fun, but there was so many small things that made it really hard to fully enjoy. You know, the clunkiness and stuff. This, I feel, addressed all of that. I am just having flat out fun with this game now. Yeah, Ark, I'm on all 3. I'm on all 3. Preston. How's it going, Preston? How are you, man? Yeah, Ark, I'm live on all 3. It's a bit of a struggle at times trying to keep track of all the chats at once. Snacks, how you doing, man? How you been? How's life? Have you come back yet, or was that just like a teaser for like the near future type of thing? And I agree with you. Anything with zombies is a win for me. I love zombies. That's why when Dead Island came out, I bought so many copies of it, because the original one I bought, and then my brother bought it so we could play it together. And then I think we got the PC version to play together because the Xbox was giving us issues or something. And then Alana and I moved in together, and we were looking for games to play. And so I bought it for her, and then it didn't work, so I had to buy the definitive edition. Oh no, yeah, I bought the regular one for her on Xbox, then we bought the definitive edition so we could start playing that. And then that started giving us issues with connecting with each other, so then I bought it on PC. And then that was how I got so many copies of the game. I freaking love this game. I love this game so much. Yeah, Snacks, I don't blame you. That's kind of what I did. When I first came back, it was I'm still somewhat casual because I don't have the time to be more dedicated to this.
Next floor up.
But I am definitely way more into it than when I first started. But yeah, when I first came back, you jerk. When I first started back up, I took it 100% in like the sense of I'm gonna stream kind of when I feel like it, and I'm gonna be like super casual, not worry about numbers or anything. Then little by little, like my own mind started kind of going, well, I need to do a little bit more. I need to do a little bit more. And then Dead Island 2 was like right on the horizon, and then I got an email from Deep Silver. I thought Deep Silver had dropped me because I hadn't heard from them for so long. And then all of a sudden I got an email from Deep Silver basically saying, hey guys, whoa, what is that? Holy crap. Basically saying, hey guys, we changed the way that we do things for our collaborators, and so we're working on that, and then we'll get back to you. And then they announced how they were doing everything through Lurkit, and I was like, okay. So then I knew I was kind of back on, and then I looked at the numbers that they were looking at, and my numbers are not good right now. And so I was like, okay, I got to put some more effort in now, because now that I know Deep Silver is still on the table for me, and I'm not keeping up, I need to start working on it. So I'm spending a bit more time. Hopefully, come like August, it might be earlier. I don't know. Things are kind of messed up right now. Hopefully come August, I will be at a point where I'll be streaming a heck of a lot more, and then that'll bring my numbers up quite a bit. No worries, Snacks, no worries. Yeah, right now, things are definitely changing quite a bit. Alana and I split, and so come August, she's moving away. My landlord is potentially kicking us out of here, so I'm probably gonna have to move too. But then I'm gonna go from like having a very busy schedule to basically just work and nothing else to do. So I'm gonna dedicate myself a heck of a lot more to streaming and content creation. So the plan is to start streaming, you know, like 4 or 5 times a week, and for like 4 or 5 hours versus like 3 times a week for an hour and a half. So that's kind of where I'm gonna be come August-ish.
What's a little fire,
is kind of where
sure I can find something to put it out.
we're aiming at right now. I don't know. Whoa! I don't know for sure if it'll happen then or before, because we're kind of waiting for my landlord to let us know what his plan is. He wants us out, and so if he wants us out, I need to kind of I might have to move earlier than expected. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The Dark, I'm well. How are you? How are things with you? How's life? Whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't expect you there. Oh, he's so gross. Oh, that was gross. That was gross. Yeah, Ark, it's life. This is the only thing. This is the only thing. No reflections. No reflections. Guys, we're in 2023. No reflections. Duke Nukem had reflections. You know, the damn, I'm looking good. We don't even have that. I can't be like, damn, I'm looking good. Nothing. Nothing. That was my really bad imitation of an Irish accent. Don Davis, I appreciate that. I appreciate you subbing on all 3. Definitely for catching me live, all 3, whatever one works best for you is great. For short form content, TikTok is where I'm very consistent. YouTube, I'm kind of hit and miss. It kind of depends. I'm really rough with long videos, though. I haven't really had a lot of time to make long videos, but hopefully once everything kind of changes, I'm planning to stream more. I'm also planning to... Oh, crap. There. I'm also planning to start making longer form videos once that happens too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I appreciate it. RTX fail. I don't think this game has ray tracing. I don't think this game has ray tracing. I think it's just spatial reflections. Screen space reflections or whatever they're called. You like the TikTok better? Yeah, some people prefer the TikTok thing. The younger generation likes the vertical thing a lot more. The older generation likes the horizontal more. I prefer the horizontal more only because I can make the game bigger. Because on TikTok, I have to obviously crop part of it, so you miss out a few details. Nothing big, but a few details. But the upside on TikTok is my face isn't covering part of the gameplay. It's so gross. Nice, the GTA 5 download. That game was fun. It took me forever to beat that game. I bought it like forever ago, and then I played through a lot of it, and for some reason I stopped playing. Something else came out, I think. And then I went and installed it again, and they wouldn't let me log in. It said my password. Oh, it said my account had been locked. Somebody had like hacked my account, and I guess they did something. Using my account, and they locked my account. And I tried contacting them, and they just wouldn't let me do anything with it. But thankfully, like a few months later, it was free on Epic, so I just made a new account and worked with that. Then I finally beat it. It was good. It was really fun. I really liked it. I was surprised I liked it as much as I did. But yeah, it's good. I don't like the online thing, but I don't like anything online, really. I've been playing a bit through San Andreas. I'm really liking that one too. I tried playing through 3 because they were selling the combo on iOS. Yes, I play on mobile. But they were selling the combo of all the what are they called? Rockstar games on iOS. So it had like Bully, GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice City, and Vice City Stories. And Max Payne, I think, was the other one. I think those are all of them that they had on there. And it was on sale for like 25 bucks. So I bought the whole kit, and I started playing through 3, and I couldn't get into it. Because there's no real story, right? It's just like, here, I need you to go kill this guy. But they don't tell you anything, so you don't connect with the characters. So it felt like I was just going back and forth the whole time. It wasn't... How do I throw the... I don't remember how to throw the... How do I... Is it this? No. It felt pointless, and so then I started San Andreas, because it's like, I hear a lot about that one, so I'll try that one. And then I started playing, and then I started getting into that one. But now I am, like, completely absorbed in Divinity Original Sin 2. I have been spending way too much time on that game. Okay. How do I... Map, inventory... Where's, like, the special... Fury special, cute. Okay, is it that one then? It is, okay. I just don't know how to switch that. I'll have to fix it another time. They're separate experiences, Don Davis. Dead Island 1 is... Did I screw up by doing that? I might have screwed up by doing that. Dead Island 1 is very clunky, and it feels old.
Well, it's a way up, if I can cut the power.
And Dead Island 1, some of the characters make an appearance in this game. I have met one of them so far, like right off the top of the game. But not having played it doesn't affect it at all, because the only reference they make to it is, oh, I lived through this once, and that's pretty much it. These are all separate characters doing separate things, and it's not even an island, so definitely not necessary to play the original. But it's really, really clunky. It feels its age, like it feels like an old game, just because like movement is weird. The missions are literally just fetch quests for like 99% of it, and most of the world is empty. Like there are zombies everywhere, but there's nothing really interesting to do for any of them. Most of the quests are like, I need 10 beers, and you go and you find 10 beers. Or, my husband is missing, can you go find him? Then you go find him and he's dead and you have to bring the ring back. Like that's literally what it is. And no, those aren't actual missions, but that's a very good analogy to what the missions are. So if you're prepared for that, then go for it. If that doesn't sound very fun, I would say maybe play this one instead of that one. But yeah, it's fun if you're okay with mindless zombie slashing. You landed a chopper on your head, got you all killed. Oh man, GTA 5 was fun. I'm just I'm not a fan of the online thing, and I've heard a lot about how there is a lot of griefing that happens in that game, and how kind of if you join now, it's almost not even worth playing because everybody is so advanced that you're just gonna go in just to get your butt kicked continuously, and that kind of wrecks the fun, is what I've heard. So like, I don't even consider the online thing. It's definitely a fun game though. GTA 4 would be number 2. See, I played a lot of GTA 4. That's why I thought I wouldn't like 5, because I thought 4 was fun. It was just, I played it on PC when it was first out. So it was one of those games that demanded a really powerful PC, and I had like a mid-tier PC. Also, the PC port was really broken when it first came out. So it was kind of a janky mess to play. So I played through quite a bit of it, but I never beat it. So I thought 5 was going to kind of be the same situation where it was like, yeah, it's okay, but like it just doesn't, I'm not having fun with it. And at first I struggled a lot. Like the shooting mechanics are kind of weird in Grand Theft Auto, so I struggled with that a little bit. And then obviously getting used to driving, it can be kind of a mess too. But once I got used to all that, I loved it. The characters were great and everything. So I want to go back and play 4. I just haven't yet. Like I said, I'm spending way too much time playing Divinity Original Sin. For those of you who don't know, it's like a top-down dungeon crawler RPG. It's very much, it looks like a Diablo game, but it's very much a Dungeons and Dragons game. I don't know if it actually follows Dungeons and Dragons rules, but it's very similar to that. And it's turn-based. It's incredibly hard. I bought it a while ago because it's co-op and I wanted to play it with Alana, and she never got into it, and I couldn't really get into it. And then I was looking for something to play recently. I was playing a lot of GTA, but I was looking for something to play that I could play when Nora was around, because obviously GTA, talking about like, you know, them hoes and like shooting other people in the face, not exactly something I want my 9-year-old to be hearing. So I was looking for something to play while she was around, and I decided I was going to force myself to play through the game. And then I started playing through it, and it was still really hard. And then I got to a point where I was finally at a fair level with everybody else. And so I would die, but if I just put a bit of effort in, I could win. And I have now spent about 15 hours into the game. I only just beat the tutorial mission. 15 hours to beat the tutorial mission. In my defense, a lot of it was spent just exploring and looking around. So I'm having a lot of fun with that game. That game's great. That game's really fun. All right, Servant Navarre, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you spending some time with us. I hope you're doing well, and have a good day at work. Ooh, Melee Impactor. Heck yes, that sounds like it's going to be bloody and gory. I don't know what this is. What is this thing? Oh, increases damage but reduces durability. I don't want that then. I don't want that. Thanks, Ark. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dontavis, and I think a lot of those games, that's kind of the only answer they can have, is to just have the same thing over and over and over again, because there's only so much you can do, right? You know, it's go and kill everybody that's in this area, or go and like steal this thing and then run away from the cops by the end of it, or chase a guy down and destroy the car that they're driving in, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's all there really is for the missions. But what makes it fun is the story surrounding them. That's why I think GTA 3 was so hard for me to get into, because the story kind of was lacking. Okay, it's so sensitive. That's not sensitive enough. That's I'm gonna have to mess with the sensitivity on this thing.
Can't leave now.
And so I definitely understand why it's repetitive. At the same time,
Take that, electricity.
I think the story, being as fun as it is, makes the repetitiveness of the gameplay more forgivable.
Where's 307?
Because when you really break it down, most games are repetitive. Most games, like one of the most successful series out there right now is literally Fortnite. And like, if you want to talk about repetitive, It is literally the exact same thing. You land in the same map and do the exact same thing every single match, and people play that all day long. So repetitiveness, as long as there's fun around it, can be okay. That is far too repetitive for me. I have zero interest in Fortnite. But like, even like Final Fantasy, which is like a full RPG game, it's literally go from point A to point B and then fight something. Then point A to point B and fight something. And like, it's that until you reach the end of the story. So I think GTA is common for gaming. It's just the storyline makes it so much more fun.
Doing its work. But I'm gonna remember. I'll find you, and I'll eat your
Mudather, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. Okay,
You're
so
crazy flowing, Major. I'm coming as fast as I can.
I keep getting asked this, and so I'm gonna give the same answer I've been giving everybody. You have to come in with the right expectations. If you're coming into this game thinking you're going to be playing something with a deep story and really deep mechanics, you're going to hate it. If you're looking for a game where it's literally run around just killing a bunch of zombies and finding funny things happening, this game is great. I am loving it. The gore is next level. Like, this game is one of the best, it has one of the best gore engines I've ever seen in a game. It genuinely feels authentic. Like, a lot of games when you like have gore.
Don't be scared.
I don't even know who that was. Who was that? Show me. We win. We win. Whew, that was good. That was good. Whew, okay. Back to my thought. A lot of games, when they have gore engines, they're very limited. Like, it's basically the same setup for all the characters. Like, if you hit their head, they will have this look, and then you cut their arm off and they will have this look. Whereas this game seems like it's got hundreds of varieties. So like, if you hit one person in the head, if you hit 3 zombies in the head, all 3 of them will have different damage. One of them might have like their nose ripped off, the other one might have like just a hole in their cheek, and the third one might have their jaw completely ripped off. So the gore engine on this thing is out of this world. But the storyline is very, very topical. Like, it's just, hey, we're trying to get out of here. I have to go tell the police. Oh, I ran into somebody. Let me go help them. Like, that's pretty much what the whole thing is. And it's a lot of just go from point A to point B and explore.
Must be a way out of here.
Like, nothing revolutionary. But if you're looking for something where you can just like attack a bunch of zombies all day long, the game is absolutely worth it. I think the main criticism people have is that it's very basic. But I think they're in the wrong, because the truth is, whoa, what is happening? Because the truth is, if you're looking for like an in-depth story while playing Dead Island, you're playing the wrong game. You're absolutely playing the wrong game. Oh, up here.
Just like the movies. I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah, The Dark. I was actually watching a documentary on it, and I wanted to make my own little coverage of it too with GTA 1. Whoa. But yeah, like, if you look, you can see where I hit this person. Like, there's on their face and on their shoulder where I was hitting them. And like, look, their legs are missing, but there are actual bones sticking out of the leg. It's not just like a generic image. It looks like it's just well done.
Just a little bit done, right?
But yeah, the main reason...
Fine.
Yeah, right, she's fine. The main reason GTA 1 was as successful as it was because it was revolutionary for the time. They did something that most games weren't willing to do at the time. At the time, a game where you just went and were the bad guy was not really something that was common. And so that was huge for the time, that you were playing the bad guy. And it was during the time when, in the 90s, a lot of parents were very against video games, teaching their kids about violence, and, you know, they were blaming all of the violence in the States on the video games. So there was a huge, like, uproar against video games at the time, you know, Mortal Kombat and all that. So when GTA came out, oh, crap. Oh, okay, I thought I died. Whoa! So when GTA came out, I don't remember what their original name was, but basically Rockstar came up with a really great idea of like pushing into it, and so they paid for newspaper articles to literally point out that it was teaching their kids violence and they were being the bad guy, killing people and all this to drive up the hype. So that's what made the game so good. Now in the modern lens, yeah, it's boring. It's very, very bad graphics. It's not really an impressive game, but at the time it was. So it's like, it's hard to judge GTA 1 in a modern lens. It doesn't hold up well. It's important in history for the rest of GTA, but it's definitely not a good game to be able to look at and be like, yeah, I see why everybody loved this. Oh, that's so gross. That's so gross. Welcome back, Merle. Welcome back. Preparing the bar? You're gonna have yourself a crazy drink at work?
Here I go.
Don't get too drunk at work. I don't want to see you on like a viral video doing something ridiculous. Or jumping off a balcony or something. Pretending you're like Superman. I'm drinking a 0x0. Oh man. Yeah, The Dark. It's GTA is one of those games where it was a product of the time. GTA 1, the very first top-down shooter game. If it came out now, it would be a colossal flop. It's sort of like Ninja. Ninja's really fallen off the radar as far as compared to how he used to be. Obviously, he's still a gigantic streamer. He's still very successful. He has achieved more than I will ever achieve in my life, as far as content creation goes. But he's fallen off, right? Like, he used to be in commercials. He used to be, you know, he hosted the New Year's countdown. Like, he was in everybody's face. And now he's kind of fallen off. But a big part of Ninja's success was his timing. He had been streaming for a while. He had a decent following. But then Fortnite came out, and he was one of the first to jump on Fortnite. And when Fortnite was new...
Christ.
Oh, gross.
I may have had that one coming, to be honest.
You did. You totally had it coming.
Got a key to the ballroom on you.
You deserved it. But when Fortnite came out, he was one of the first. And because he was one of the first, he shined.
Thank you.
Because
your mate to the ballroom?
Most people playing Fortnite at the time were not spending all day long playing it, and so they weren't as good as he was, and he did this for a living. Like, he played video games for a living. So he was bringing in those W's all night long. So he was able to like get to the top of the list really, really quickly. And then he put on a good show on top of that. I'm not saying that he wasn't a good streamer, but like, he had that extra benefit. If Ninja jumped into Fortnite now, he wouldn't be where he is, because he wouldn't stand out from the crowd. GTA is kind of the same situation. GTA came out in a time when that was taboo and unheard of. And so it skyrocketed itself into the mainstream because of how revolutionary it was for the time. If GTA came out now, it would be a complete flop, and people would be making fun of it and ripping it apart because of how basic it is. It's not like something like Mortal Kombat, where Mortal Kombat came out. The mechanics are fairly basic, but you can still go back and play Mortal Kombat and still have fun with it and understand why it was fun. GTA, you go back to it now and you kind of go, I don't understand why everybody was crazy about this game. It sucks. It's kind of like GTA 3. If I went back and played GTA 3 and I thought it kind of sucked, but when you compare it to GTA 2 and 1, GTA 3 was a very big leap forward in storyline, in graphics, in gameplay. But now you compare it to San Andreas 4 and 5, it's 100% out of its league with those games. Those games are phenomenal. That game is very basic. There are a lot of games now that hold up. You know, Mario 64 can still be really fun. Despite being glitchy and broken and bad graphics, it's still very fun and you can still see where the fun was. But it was also revolutionary, which is what made it stand out. Ocarina of Time is kind of on the fence. Ocarina of Time is still very fun. The puzzles are great. The theme of the whole game is awesome, but you run through Hyrule and it's a big empty field with nothing to do. And so that shows its age, and that makes it kind of hard to understand why it was so fun, but then you get into the puzzles and there's so much more fun. So like, that's on the fence. But yeah, GTA is definitely one of those games that you would have had to play it at the time that it was released in order for it to oh, dang it. Oh, because I'm so stupid. For people to really realize why it was as praised as it was. Infinity Gamer, hello. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving this game. I honestly can't fully put into words how I find that this game is everything that I wish Dead Island 1 would have been. And the fact that it was such a nightmare for development makes it even more impressive that it is as good as it is. I'm loving this game, honestly. Hey, Mr. FOV, how you doing, man? Yeah, I think Silent Hill 1 is still a phenomenal horror game. I'm really, really bummed out that that's not the one that they're remaking, but that's more of a personal opinion, not an actual, like, I can't back that up and say, well, these are the reasons they should have done number 1. Because number 2 outsold number 1. Number 2 has more following than number 1, but I'm still bummed out about it. But yeah, I think they both still hold up really well because it didn't rely on any new mechanics. It all relied on new perceptions of gaming, which allowed it to be a more hold on, I'm like keeping out weapons that are way too weak. 89 and 90 is pretty much the same, but these two, you know, like the building that tension, that uncomfortable feeling, and that could just work no matter what the era is. And Silent Hill 1 and 2 did really good jobs at that.
Music.
It's very disheartening that number 2 wasn't released.
Cable's been ripped in two. Rather you than me, fella.
But even though it's not being released, I think number 2 being released is still a good job. My only concern with number 2, really, is that it ouch.
I have done science to it.
Is that a big part of number 2 was the twist ending, if that makes sense. And now the twist ending is kind of everybody knows it, right? So they can't really rely on that. I'm kind of hoping they will come up with new elements to make the game still interesting, because knowing the twist ending kind of ruins the whole build-up of the game. But I'm hopeful. I'm not hopeful because it is Konami, and everything they touch, they just destroy now. I am in the minority. I know I'm in the minority, and I know that many people have very good reasons why. But I'm excited that, what are they called? Blooper? Something like that? Whatever they're called. That they're doing it. That's probably one of the biggest criticisms people have. Let me just listen to this.
Breaker, can anyone hear me?
I hear you. I'm Dr. Reed. Did you hear my message? Where are you?
At the evac center for Bel Air. I'm Danny, and I'm trying to reach whoever's in charge.
Well, you sort of have. I'm part of the CDC team in LA. I was anyway. Are you, do you think you might be infected?
Yeah, I got bitten like, and I thought that was me joining the ranks of the dearly departed for certain. But then I got better.
You got bit? Oh my God.
I seem to be immune. Sure, and that must be worth something to you.
Oh, it's worth something, all right. We've been looking for you. Well, someone like you for our vaccine program.
Uh-oh.
Doctor, I'll need to be putting you on hold for just a moment.
Hey, wait! I need you! You have to get here! Hello?
Whoa! Bridezilla!
time.
Holy crap, we got Bridezilla.
Shame about that cake now.
Woo!
Grand.
Dang, Becky. Holy crap, Becky. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. You got those gains. I think you're good. You don't need to come after me and prove me that you're huge. It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, what I was saying, what was I saying? Crap, now I don't remember.
Jesus. They chloroform them, then dump them in the pool.
Oh
while
my
they were still
god,
alive.
Becky, look at that butt. Marriage is death. I haven't found Fresh Prince yet. I haven't. Oh, the blooper or whatever they're called. People are very upset that Blooper's making the game. With the justification that, you know, they've made a lot of walking sims, right? And people are like, they're boring. Walking sims aren't great. Except for horror games, walking sims work really well. Not just that. With horror games, 158, 145, we're gonna do this one. With horror games, having that ability to like build up the horror versus relying on like jump scares and stuff, or like violence to make the game fun, is hard. And a lot of people didn't like the Blair Witch game. I had some criticisms for sure. You know, the ending got very repetitive in Blair Witch. There was a section where you were going through the one house and you would run through the same area over and over again. And for like the first 15, 20 minutes, that was fun. But then when it turned into an hour of doing that, that dragged. That was way too long. So there are definitely issues with how Blooper handled that game. But I think what people are forgetting, the people who are criticizing this dev team being chosen, is that the Silent Hill is a lot about the same feeling of walking sim. You can fight, that is part of the game, but like walking sim is kind of what Silent Hill is. So I am very hopeful that they will do a good job. I'm more worried that Konami's going to step in and wreck that good job. Oh, now she's all burned. Ow, you kicked me in the face. At least you're not wearing heels. Come on, you're dead. Ugh. Heal, heal, heal! Oh, she's so like deformed now. Holy crap.
Saved your last dance for me, darling. Hope you didn't mind me leaving.
So, darling, save the last dance for me. Dum dum dum.
Thank God! What happened?
Some lassie was angry I gave her a cake and nibble. Look, I'm gonna need to get help getting to Santa Monica. But I've got a plan and a house full of people to pull it off with. I'll be in touch, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for the GGs. Thank
Vital
you.
you stay alive.
Steffi!
Well, in that case, I'll change my
Hey!
afternoon plans. Thanks.
Don't get fired. This game is an NFS.
Back to Emma's,
Not safe for work.
Fiery and one of the treats.
I couldn't remember what it was. It's not safe for work. There's blood, guts, and gore everywhere. I hope you're doing well, Steffi. I was watching a video, it made me think of you actually, on TikTok, real quick while you're lurking. Hopefully you can hear this. Talking about Final Fantasy 14, and they were talking about the names of some of the bosses, and there was a boss that he wanted to like, the guy wanted to be able to swear in Final Fantasy without actually swearing, and he wanted to like name a boss something. I can't remember what it was. It was like balls or something. And they were talking about how like they felt that in Japanese that was going to be too short of a name, so they wanted to give it something else, and so they gave it a 2-part name. And then because it was a 2-part name, he didn't like that because it wouldn't be the same as just saying balls. And so like he decided to make it a 2-part god, because that way one is the first part of the name, the second one is balls, and you could still just say balls. And how like he came up with this idea for this god because he just wanted to swear in Final Fantasy. Made me think of you. Made me think of you. Falls Balls, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. I love it. I love it. Being immature and stupid makes creativity amazing. It's great. But I hope you're really doing well, Steffi. I hope life is treating you well. Oh, man. I love it. When I saw that, I was like, oh, man, that makes me think of Steffi and Ryan. And I really want to play that game, but I'm broke and I can't afford the monthly thing. But eventually. One day I will. One day I will. I saw Ryan's, I think it was his tweet about the house he built. It looks so cool. I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands sometime in the future. And I have like 0 friends that I do stuff with. Like Preston is like the only real life friend. And then my brother. But my brother works full time and Preston has his own life. So I can't be like, hang out with me all day long. But I'm gonna need people to like hang out with and stuff, so I'm gonna have to look at my budget and try to get Final Fantasy going sometime in the summer. Mike Hawk situation thing. How dare he have his own life? Holy crap. Yeah, I really want to play it. It's come a long way. It's come a really long way. Everything that I've read about it just talks about how it really is like the current WoW. Like there's no comparison with what it was when it first released, which is so cool. I want to play it. I just... budgets really sucked, and I haven't had time to dedicate to friendships and stuff, right? Like I work all day long and then come with streaming and then family, and it's just there's not a lot of time. But come summertime, I'm gonna have way too much time on my hands. You know, the next little while is gonna be insanely stressful and very, very busy because of moving and reorganizing and finding a place to live and all that stuff. But once that's all settled down, like I'm gonna work and do nothing all day long. I'm hoping to get back into acting, but even then, holy crap, another big guy. But even then, you know, work can only take up so much time, and then I'm gonna be sitting around, and with the acting thing, a lot of it's gonna be me paying for training, so it's not like I'm gonna be doing that a whole bunch. And I'm out of practice, so it's not like I can really audition for professional shows. Holy crap, it's Arnold! It's Arnold from the 90s. Wrong button. So, you know, I'm hoping that I can kind of... Wrong button. What's the dodge? What's the dodge? Oh, this one. I'm hoping that I can kind of get into playing those games and stuff and hang out, because I don't want to end up... because I'm going to have so much time and because I'm going to be alone for the first time in a very, very long time, I don't want to end up in like a super depressive state, mainly because I've got nothing better to do. Because right now, mentally, I'm in a pretty decent headspace, considering. But I think my main concern is it's inevitable to kind of fall into a dark place if you're doing nothing all day long, which is very much what my day is going to consist of once the summer comes in. So I definitely need stuff to do. So I'm hoping that I can kind of get into things like Final Fantasy when the summer comes around. Hopefully. Hopefully. Or the Sofa King, awesome. Oh, get down again. No, Presto, I was talking about Steffi and Ryan, and I think it's Corey is the other one, right? They all play Final Fantasy 14, and I was saying about how Final Fantasy 14, when it first came out, it was not a very highly praised game. The Final Fantasy fans really liked it, but it was lacking quite a bit. Then they re-released it. I remember because I want to say Final Fantasy 14 came out on the, was it PS2 era that it came out? Or 360 era. I don't know. Maybe 360 era. Because I think Final Fantasy 11 was PS2. I can't remember. Anyway. And it came out, and it didn't do amazingly. It did okay, but not amazingly. Nothing to really revolutionize anything. And then they pretty much canceled the game and then re-released it. And then it started doing really well. And then they started updating it with a bunch of stuff, and the updates have now made it like a WoW competitor. Like it's literally nobody talks about Guild Wars anymore. It's all WoW or Final Fantasy. Like those are the big those are the big MMORPGs out there. And so I was telling Steffi that I want to get into Final Fantasy. I just don't have the money right now, but I'm hoping to eventually. Oh crap. Oh no. Heal. He killed me as I was healing. Damn it. Dodge. Yeah, Justin, that's kind of what I've been doing. You know, like right now I'm kind of in limbo, right? Like they're still living here. I don't know if I'm losing this place or not. We're waiting for the landlord to tell us. Because he hasn't raised our rent since we moved here. And he is renting the place upstairs. He's trying to get the place upstairs rented, and he's asking for like almost $800 more a month up there than what he's asking for here, or so what he's getting from us here. So he's told us he wants to move into here because he's getting divorced, and he's offering us the place upstairs. But $800 is way too much. That's way too much of a rent raise. But he was showing the place upstairs before we gave him an answer. So I'm hoping that he's going to say he's moving people in upstairs. He's going to let us stay, but we can up the rent. And if that's the case, then I'm just going to stay here when they move out. But I'm kind of in that weird limbo place. So I can't really do anything as far as like achieving the goals that I'm setting, but I'm definitely setting goals. Like I'm planning to get back into acting again. I'm going to be doing streaming way more often. I'm going to do way better videos on a regular basis. So I'm setting goals right now. I just know that there's going to be a lot of downtime where I'm doing nothing, because there are days where I don't talk to anybody. Like my brother works night shift. I work night shift, but I work by myself. And so like I can go all day without talking to anybody because my brother's really busy running the business. And so like once that happens, there will be literally nobody to talk to. And so I'm worried I'm going to fall into that headspace during those down times when there's like not really anything to do. And so that's when I'm going to be hopefully playing games like that to try to keep my mind going on the times where I can't really be following my goals. Because there are going to be moments where like all my friends are going to be asleep because I work night shift and they're all working during the day. Or there are going to be moments where it's like, yeah, I've recorded everything for the week and I've got nothing else to do for the rest of the week. So I need to kind of just waste time. But I don't want to fall into those dark areas where like I'm by myself in silence with like Family Guy playing in the background, sitting in my underwear eating popcorn. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to looking for those kind of things. Yeah, we win. It's crazy. The amount that he wants to up the rent is insane, and it's complete greed. Because for me, where the kick in the face goes with this landlord is that I have never been late with rent. I've never asked him for an extension on rent. I've never complained about anything. The complaints we had were legitimate complaints, like our washer broke, so he had to get us a new one. That's a legitimate complaint. Our fridge was too small. We didn't ask him to buy us a new fridge. I bought my own fridge, and I just asked him to put his fridge in storage. He refuses to give us a key to the basement. I offered to put it down there. He refused to give us a key to the basement, so he had to do it himself. But that was his choice, not mine. You know, we've never gotten complaints put on us. The only complaint we ever got put on us was that the first upstairs neighbors we had complained that there was dog poop out in the backyard. Partially true, because Elena doesn't always clean Zelda's poop, but partially not true because we also have coyotes and bunnies and stuff back there, so they'll come into the backyard and poop. And so like that was the only complaint we've ever had against us. Outside of that, we're incredibly quiet. I wear my noise canceling headphones all day long because I don't like noise. And so he's got nothing against us. He's just a greedy pig and wants more money. But doesn't want just to up our rent by like $100. He wants $800 more. So he's kind of giving us the ultimatum of get out or give me more money, which is disgusting because he's had 2 different tenants up there. We've been up here for almost 4 years. And in the 4 years, there have been 2 tenants up there and each one only stayed for a year. So there have been 2 years that the upstairs has been empty and we have never been late on anything. Yet he wants us out. The stable tenants who he's never had a problem with, he wants out to put unstable tenants in here. Like, he's stupid. He's an idiot. It's really, really frustrating because had I known, then I would have just been late on my rent. I wouldn't have made sacrifices to make sure he was always paid on time. I would have complained about all the issues we've had here. But I didn't. And now he's just spitting in my face because landlords are scumbags. So it's pretty frustrating. Can you tell I'm mad? I'm mad. But nonetheless, you know, this place is really big, so moving isn't necessarily a bad thing. Less memories in a new place as well. But the cheapskate in me can't help but look at what I'm paying for here and look at what I'm going to get for the same price now, which is going to be a somewhat considerable downsize, which is going to suck, but it is what it is, you know? Yeah, Justin, it's disgusting, you know?
Whoa. Now that seems like my kind of party.
I lean much more towards that we shouldn't allow average people to be landlords, only because then other average people just can't buy houses because they get bought out. Like, there's just no way they can compete. At the same time, I can understand people wanting to invest in another property, especially in Canada, because our retirement funds are basically tied to our living situations. So I can understand wanting a second property, but it doesn't make sense when you hear that people have like 15 or 16 properties that they're renting out, especially when they're treating people as badly as they are. If landlords were at least fair, like if my landlord was, you know, a decent human and realized, hey, these guys have been good to me, I'm going to be good to them too, cool. But he's a scumbag trying to get more money out of us unjustifiably, because there is no way that his rent or his mortgage for this place needs, you know, $1,600 more a month just to keep this place floating. When we pay all the bills, he doesn't pay any bills here except for the water. We pay everything else. So like, it's not even like he can say, well, the mortgage went up, but so did gas and so did, like, no, you didn't pay for any of that stuff. We pay for it. So I know that inflation has caused stuff to go up, but not double the price of what you were asking for when we first moved in here. So it's infuriating. That being said, it is what it is. Thankfully, I have a decent job, so I'll be able to find a decent apartment. It's more the what I am looking for that is going to cause me an issue, because I want a 2-bedroom, because I do want a stream/studio room. If worst comes to worst, I'll get a 1-bedroom and I'll set it up in my living room, but I don't want to set it up in my living room. I would like a separate room for it, mainly because then I can control the lighting and then I don't have to like tear down and put up every time I want to do stuff in the living room. Or like, you know, eventually I might date. I don't want to bring a date to the house and then have my studio set up all in the way. So I would like a 2-bedroom. That's where kind of the problem lies, is it that ups my budget, which kind of sucks. If I was going for a 1-bedroom, I'd be laughing right now because I make more than enough for a 1-bedroom, and to live decently in a decent neighborhood, it's just, I'd like a 2-bedroom. But overall, I'm going to be fine. It's just the hassle of having to tear everything apart, put it all back together, move everything, find somebody to help me do it, and it sucks because, you know, I don't have a lot of real life friends, so especially any friends that I can call and be like, hey, you want to come help me move? So like, it's going to be down to me and potentially my brother helping me for a few hours move the big stuff, and then the rest of it's going to be up to me. So like that part's the most frustrating out of all of it. I don't mind moving. I just don't want to do all the work involved with moving. Ugh, so much work. So much work. It does, Steffi. Moving really sucks. I'm really not looking forward to it. I did see you said something and I totally didn't think. It's a great game to stream too. People love to see first time playthroughs. Yeah, I mean, when the summer comes, Steffi, and I figure out where I'm living and what my budget's going to kind of look like, hopefully I'll be able to afford it. If I can afford it, I wouldn't mind streaming it. I wouldn't mind playing it for the first time and kind of see where it goes. Especially because that's one of those games where, because it's an MMO, it's not like once you beat it, you know, 10 hours later, it's over. It's one of those games that I can just continuously play for long periods of time, stream-wise. So, definitely exciting. I don't know how helpful Ryan's going to be. Those tiny dinosaur arms? I got a big couch. Oh man, but it is what it is, you know. Life throws curveballs. It kind of sucks. I'm trying really hard to not concentrate on that negative stuff. I know there are negative things to it, but I'm trying not to just concentrate on that. I'm also, now that I'm doing the ADHD medication, it's really helped be able to look at the positives. So overall, I'm feeling pretty good. Just overwhelmed. In all honesty, I'm in burnout mode right now. Like, I am so burnt out. I don't want to talk. I'm talking on stream because it's kind of mindless. I'm distracted. But like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to move. I literally want to just sit with my noise canceling headphones on and just have like white noise playing in the background and do nothing all day long. Because I am so burnt out. But I have to keep going forward. So that's probably my only negative feeling I'm having right now is I'm just burnt out. I'm tired. No worries, Weebin. No worries. No worries. Yeah, Justin, that's what I've been looking at is like a room plus a den type of idea. Every little while that I'm playing this game, there's a new type of zombie. This is awesome. I'm loving it. Whoops. Like, I haven't seen a zombie that looks like this. That's cool. Ew, it jiggles. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 2 bedrooms, but I'm also looking at 1 bedroom plus a den. The problem is that in my area, as of right now, at least, it might change in the next month or so. As of right now, the ones that I've found that are a den, it's not a den. There was one that was like, it's a 1 bedroom with a den. So technically it's a 2 bedroom, but you could use it as an office. You could use it as blah, blah, blah. And then they showed pictures and the den was literally like the size of maybe a desk with like a chair attached to it under stairs. Like, that's not a den. It's a cubby hole. It's not even a room. It's a cubby hole. It's not a den. And it's like, that's not gonna work for my stream. Could you imagine? I have a ceiling fan here in this room, which is great for the summer because you turn it on and it keeps it nice and cool in here. I have air conditioning, but still having the ceiling fan lets me keep the air conditioner a bit hotter. But I smack my hand on that damn thing all the time. Could you imagine under stairs? I'd end up with a broken fist within like 3 months. Because I do a lot of VR. So broken fists are kind of a thing. I would hurt myself so bad. Oh, man.
I put on my shorts like any other normie. 2 feet at a time.
It's a clofus. That's exactly what it is. It's a clofus. Oh, man. Yeah, Mr. FOV. And like, that's what I want to do. The problem is that I have Nora. And so I can't. That's the issue I run into. I have Nora and Alana sleeps all day. So I can't just lock myself in a room. I have to take care of Nora. So I don't have the opportunity to recharge. And because of how things are with Alana, I can't ask her. So I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck in burnout mode, and I'm not excited that I'm going to be stuck this way for at least 2 months. I'm not looking forward to that. But I have no choice. I have to just deal with it. So what I'm trying to do is any opportunity that I do have, I'm just putting my headphones on and locking myself away. But it doesn't happen very often because during the day, like, I get up and then it's basically stream time. And then once the stream is over, I pick up Nora. Like, I'm going to be done in 15 minutes. I got to pick up Nora. Once I pick up Nora, she's home all day. And then I gotta keep an eye on her, help her with dinner and all that stuff. And then Nora goes to bed, and then I have maybe an hour from when she goes to bed to me going to work. And then I'm at work all night. And yeah, I'm by myself, but I'm actively doing stuff which I'm not always wanting to do. Then when I'm done work, I come home and go right to bed because I have to be up early enough to do the stream. So like, it's very in that endless loop that I don't have time to do more. Just I don't have time to do more less stuff. I don't have enough time to just be lazy. Mind you, I'm lazy quite a bit, but I don't have enough time to just like shut the world out. And even today I wasn't gonna stream. My plan was to just like call off the stream and not do anything. But I have to make a video on some earbuds, and like, I'm running out of time. I think I have like a day or 2 to have it done, and so I have to do that. And so at that point I was like, you know what, I have to do that. I might as well just stream. because at least that is mindless and I can shut my brain off. It's not like memorizing a script and having to say it all properly and make the video long enough and interesting enough and be honest but without being rude. And then I have to spend the next few hours editing it. So like, I don't really have a chance right now until they're gone. Once they're gone, I'll be able to shut the world off when I need to recharge. But right now, no choice. No choice at all. Yeah, we win. That time is important. That time is really important.
Man, it's about time. Was starting to think all my followers were bots. So, where's our ride out? Private jet, chopper, jetpack?
Sorry, darling, but how can I be a follower if I don't even know your name?
Ouch.
Duh. I'm Amanda Styles. LA's top trending girl in the juicy flesh. But, oh, fuck! You didn't see my video? Thought I'd uploaded for sure this time.
Ah, I getcha. You're one of them influencers.
Hey.
This shit show on camera. When my videos.
Excuse me, Deep Silver.
They'll be racing to send it to choppers.
Send in the chopper.
LA.
Ooh, plan-wise, that's fucking massive.
Right? Problem is, it's pretty hard to get good footage while killing corpses. Oh shit! Idea! We collaborate! We lure some here, you finish them off Amanda style, and I get crystal clear shots.
Little Miss Styles, you had me back there at flying zombie guts.
Then let's fucking go! Blast some tunes and knock any loser that shows up off the motherfucking roof! Let them bodies hit the floor! And no swearing in the first minute. I'm already on 2 strikes.
Okay, so it's a little cringy because it's not fully accurate. They hit too many of the stereotypes. All the stereotypes this girl just hit is definitely accurate. It's usually spread out in different creators, not just one. That being said, damn, is that ever on point? Because yeah, a lot of content creators are that way. But Deep Silver, hello, you gave this stuff to all of your content creators for a collab, and then you make fun of content creators and collabing. What the heck? Oh man. Nice, Mr. FOV. 3 months is awesome. That's huge. Oh no, I fell. How do I get back up? How do I get back up? She's gonna die if I don't hurry. And yeah, we went. The thing for me is like when I'm in this burnout state, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to like expend energy. And if I do talk to anybody, it'll be like my brother, and it'll be something really stupid and topical. It's not. It's never anything of substance. I'm very weird when it comes to like talking to people when I'm feeling this way. The last thing I want to do is talk to anybody. It's so gory. Oh, I have to kick them off the roof. What am I doing? Don't fight them. Kick them off the roof. Where can I kick them off? Over here? No. The roof's over that way. Okay, over here. You're the same? Yeah. You know what, Chadley? There's always a new zombie to look at, which is really cool. Just a minute ago, there was like an overweight zombie, and we haven't had one of those yet. Even here, like, this is an African-American zombie, and then there's like a blonde zombie. There's a good variety in zombies, which is cool. It's not something you see very often. And even like what they're wearing, there's just enough variety in what they're wearing. Obviously they're zombies, so a lot of zombies look exactly the same all the time. But there is a high variety in zombies. It's like here, she's wearing pretty much the same thing that the African-American one was, but she's different. So I feel like there's a lot of the same costumes, but there are a lot of different models. So that's cool. they've done a pretty good job. You know, as far as zombie games go, there's usually like 3 or 4 models, and that's all you get. Look, there's one in a hoodie. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, here's one in the same dress, but now it's black instead of red. Like, even just those tiny details can be enough to just make it feel like there's a variety. It's well done. Jump up and... oh, damn it. Bye!
Hey,
Yeah, we did it.
honestly, from this angle. There's a crash mat, which lame, but I got it. This loud and get up to me. Give me broken bones, chocolate, straight up torture porn AF.
What does she want differently? I don't know, man.
This video is crazy hype, but we need to get the world watching. So I'm counting on my armada to get this video to 1 million beautiful likes.
Oh, go for the limbs. Okay. Whoa, I lit them on fire. And myself. Yeah, like, I'm sure there aren't really that many varieties in zombies. I'm sure that it's like small tweaks on each one to make them look different. Like, look, this is another one in the same dress, but now it's blue. So we've seen blue, red, and black. We've seen African American, white, and then brown skinned. All of the same. Oh, here's another one. Now it's a blonde. So like, just those little palette swaps can make them look different. And when you're like right now, because I'm actively looking out for what they are, I'm noticing it more. But like, just by having that slight difference, it feels like there's a larger variety than there is. And when you're running around the city and you've got a whole bunch coming after you, it definitely adds an extra bit of variety to the whole thing. This isn't finishing and I gotta get going. Nathan, hello, nice to see you.
They might try to take this video down, so make sure to subscribe.
Exactly.
Not miss anything.
Exactly. Like right now, we haven't seen any military style zombies. And a second ago, we were in an area that was all military zombies. Whoa, crap. So like, it definitely, the setting will accentuate specific types of zombies more than others. It's very well done though. Like I'm enjoying it. Like I said, the gore is like on the brink of too realistic, but I'm getting used to it now, which says a lot about my humanity. But it's just a well done game. It really is. Oh, we got to take a big one on. There's even like other ethnicities. Like there was an Asian zombie that I've seen a few times now, or like this guy. He looks like an Italian stallion. You know, he belongs to Jersey Shore. Ouch! Oh, wrong. There we go. Even like this little detail, which is like the dumbest little detail. Hold on. In Dead Island 1 and in Dying Light, they have big zombies, right? That's kind of... Aw, I died. I don't have time to do it again. We'll do it again next time. No, I'll be back tomorrow, but we're going to be playing Elden Ring because I haven't played that in a while. In Dying Light and Dead Island 1, they had, you know, the giant zombies, right? And one thing that they've done here is that the giant zombies can also be women. Which in the first game, it was always men exclusively. And now they have women. Like we fought a bridezilla. So it's cool that they've added even that little element. They've just added way more variety, which is really nice. It keeps you on your toes and it makes it feel fresh constantly. Because I've been playing for a few hours now and I'm still running into new zombies that I've never seen before. So that's cool. I feel like a lot of zombie games tend to fall into like, there's 5 types of zombies and you just see the same 5 zombies over and over again. Whereas here, there might only be 5 types of zombies, but they mix and match. They change their hairstyle. They change the skin color. They change what they're wearing and then the color of what they're wearing. And, you know, one zombie can have 8 different outfits. And then you just add 8 different haircuts and all of a sudden you've got a variety. So that makes it really interesting. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Thank you. Thank you for blessing me. So I'll be back with Elden Ring tomorrow. I am going to play this again. I'm really liking this game. It's just so mindless and it's good for streaming for me because I can just kind of like do stuff and talk and not have to worry too much. We are still doing that gigantic fight in Elden Ring. I don't know if you all noticed, if you all haven't been playing Elden Ring or you haven't gotten it, they just released a ray tracing update, which I am so excited about. When I was doing the dual PC setup, when I was setting it up, I was testing it with Elden Ring because that was one of the ones that I had to have the graphics turned all the way down. And then I noticed that they have the ray tracing. And so I enabled it and it runs really well with the secondary PC. The secondary PC, I think the hard drive is dying. I think I'm running into some problems with the hard drive or maybe the RAM. Nonetheless, it's still running really well and the ray tracing looks really good. So I'm really excited because tomorrow I'll be able to play the game with full graphics and have the ray tracing on and everything, and you'll all be able to see it. I'll be able to see it, and it'll be really cool. It'll be really cool. Justin, I appreciate that. Like I said, right now, I think I'm just in a burnout state where I kind of just don't want to interact with anybody. Like even my comments on my TikToks, I'm not commenting as often as I normally do. Somebody got mad at me. By the way, I gotta bring this up because it still really bothers me. Somebody got mad at me because I had said that I don't like putting big effort into videos because they don't do well. They took it as like my viewers don't watch me and they don't support me, and that's not what I meant. What I meant is like the effort to result just doesn't make sense for me. I'd rather put less effort in to get a better result than a bunch of effort and no result. I spent like 10 hours doing that Resident Evil video I did on TikTok for like a 9-minute video. It was like a 10-hour effort for me. It just broke 1,000 views. It's been live for 2 days. It just broke 1,000 views. The video before that did really, really well. The video before the Resident Evil one didn't do very well. But the video before that did do well was one where I was talking about the guy that got the life sentence from Nintendo that he has to pay them back for the rest of his life. That had 22,000 views. That took me 45 minutes to do. And I got 22,000 views. Oh no, it hasn't even broken. The Resident Evil hasn't even broken 1,000 views. It's at 700. And that was 10 hours. That's why I was bringing that up before for the person who got really upset with me. It was 10 hours of work for 700 views or 45 minutes of work for 22,000 views. That's why I don't like to do the high effort stuff all the time because it's a lot of work and it just doesn't always translate to a bigger result. You got to work smarter, not harder. Mind you, once I'm in the next step in life, I will have a lot of time. So high process videos won't be a big deal because I've got nothing better to do anyway. But right now my time is very, very constrained. And so spending 10 hours on a video is hard. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, it's definitely hard for me to hang out with people right now. I just kind of want to not do anything and just veg out really. But once things get a little bit more open, and life has kind of settled down again and I've kind of found my new routine. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be up for like adventures and stuff. So like if we find stuff like gaming conventions and stuff, I would be open to hanging out and stuff. So I appreciate the offer. We will definitely what's the corporate talk? We'll spin back around at that when the time comes. Oh man. Yeah, we would. That's me with friggin' Divinity. I am hooked on Divinity. Like once I pick up Nora, I'm gonna be, because she's been grounded the last couple of days. She's had a bit of a rough couple of days. So there's a lot of her just kind of sitting around doing nothing. So I don't have to like entertain her as much. There's a lot of like free time. So I'm probably going to sit down and play some Divinity for the next couple of hours. Although I'm going to record the TikTok real quick and then sit around and do nothing and play some Divinity. But yeah, I'm out of here. I got to go pick up Nora and I will see you all tomorrow for some Elden Ring around the same time as today. And we'll continue with that boss fight. Hopefully we can get over it and move on. I'm very excited. I'm having a lot of fun. Wrong mouse. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow. See you later, TikTok. Have yourselves a good day. And now for Twitch and YouTube. I will see you all tomorrow. Have yourselves a good day.